and welcome to the second of two programmes from the Cookstown 100 in Northern Ireland. It's the first road racing action of the year, and we've got some great racing on the way. And we've already had some high-octane action on the track.
From the fire through the haze we're coming. It's been too long since the king has fallen. You see the lights and the people push higher. You know we're down for a fight.
Next on the Orator Circuit, it's time for the Super Twins. The first Super Twin race I ever commentated on was here at the Cookstown 100 in 2009. It could well have been the first ever Super Twin race held on closed roads. Ryan Farquhar, the winner on that occasion. 4 times he was a race winner. Last year was won by Michael Dunlop. Unfortunately, we have no Michael Dunlop, the only non-starter in the opening wave. Gareth Arnold and Michael Sweeney on the front row. And just a couple of non-starters as well in the second wave. Bikes 8, Anthony McColgan, and bike 37, Mick Hogan. We are about to go racing with the twins. Away we go, cracking start for Gareth Arnold on bike 83. An awful one for Michael Sweeney. He's really been swallowed up, just didn't get away. Sweeney, who won this race 2 years ago, now has to play catch-up. It's going to be Gareth Arnold who's going to take them into Gorton for the very first time. Oh, and he's just got it all wrong. Gareth Arnold managed to hold on to first place. Second wave about to get underway. 32 is Morris. 212 McMasters. Crean on bike 40. Gareth Arnold, after a little bit of a mare, it has to be said, going into Gorton, still leads. Michael Sweeney also as well, not the best of starts for him. He's got riders to get past if he's going to try and take advantage. Oh, and here he goes. So Sweeney, who started on the front row but dropped back down through the order, just going past Garn for third place as they go into Mackney. I think Michael Sweeney is the man to keep an eye on. Really bogged it down from the start, left himself a lot of work to do, but it's Gareth Arnold who leads just from 62. Cleary, what a start from Cleary. Third row of the first wave, and he's up into second place. Further back, 40 is Crean. Sweeney could be the one to watch here. And I think he has, yes, there he goes. He's gone through into second place. So he's gone past Cleary, and he's now got Arnold in his sights as they go over the start-finish line and scream down towards Gorton. And here comes Michael Sweeney, and he may just get a wheel ahead. In fact, he has. In fact, he hasn't, but he has now. He was 200ths of a second behind Gareth Arnold as he crossed the line, as Arnold goes back in front again. Sweeney taking the lead momentarily. We have got a fight on our hands, folks. Into McAdoo, another twitch from Gareth Arnold. Sweeney right with him on his back wheel. So this is Gareth Arnold, and just look at Sweeney just behind number 62 Cleary, getting on the power. Riding with Sweeney on the RS660 Aprilia. Amazing how half, in fact the majority I think of the bikes in this race, as Sweeney goes past. Sweeney takes it from Gareth Arnold at the jump. Incredible. A great move, we don't see too many of them, but Michael Sweeney feeling super confident, back at the top of his game. He now leads from Arnold with Aidan Cleary back in third place. Fourth is still gone. Derek Crean as well is the one to watch in the second wave, bike number 40. At the end of lap 1, he was up in a fourth place ahead of Michael Garn. too long to go. If any moves are going to be made, they need to make them pretty soon as they come down. Oh, they're side by side. Garn is going for it. Garn is going for it, but no, they stay exactly the same, do they? No change in position. Garn has a go as they exit. Gordon, and they just elbows rub. Oh, and he's got him. So a change for third place as they go around McAdoo. Garn ahead of Cleary. Sweeney, Arnold, Cleary, Garn, McMaster, Morris, Crean, McKnight, Farrell, Kelly Carruthers, Thomas, Robson and O'Donovan. That's the race order at the end of lap 5. The man currently in 6th place on the leaderboard. He's just behind Dean McMaster on the road. So Sweeney crossing the line now. Gareth Arnold again just about keeping Sweeney in his sights. Just over between 4 and 5 seconds the gap between them that time. Oh, a mistake! Just turns it in time. Oh, no. Just a bit too hot. Aidan Cleary, having lost 3rd place, is determined to get it back from Michael Garn. However, that was just a little bit too hot. He really had to slam on the anchors. Also as well, the way Martin Morris is going, he could well be on for that 3rd place position as well. He's in the 2nd wave. It's still Michael Sweeney who leads from Gareth Arnold, but the gap between them continues to extend. There is number 32, Morris. Sweeney, having taken the lead, is now trying to pull away, and is doing so. So Sweeney sees the last lap flag. The gap over Arnold is going to be around 8 seconds. There is number 32, Morris, in amongst the slower first wave riders. Here they come. The bite to look for there is number 32, Martin Morris. And he is in 5th place at the end of that lap. He was 4th, he's now dropped to 5th. Cleary's gone back up to 4th. Garn still holding 3rd. But it looks like it's going to be a 2nd Super Twin win over the years for Michael Sweeney. Victor in 2022. This race won last year by Michael Dunlop. But Michael Sweeney looks like he's going to make it 2 wins. In fact, only he, Adam McLean, or well, if he does do it, and I don't see any reason why he shouldn't now with just this right-left flip to go. He'll join Adam McLean and Michael Dunlop and Ryan Farquhar in having won a Super Twin race at Cookstown more than once. Here he comes to take the checkered flag. It is a victory for Michael Sweeney at Cookstown. Well, what a race that was. Battling with Gareth Arnold at the start, but once he shook him off, there was no stopping Michael Sweeney. Gareth Arnold will take the checkered flag for 2nd place. Still that question mark over 3rd, but it should be Michael Garn from Aidan Cleary and Martin Morris. This is how they end up. Crean in 7th after his good start. McMaster 6th behind Morris, Cleary, Garn, Arnold, and race winner Michael Sweeney.
I really enjoyed that. Considering it's a brand new motorbike, we only got it 2 weeks ago and only got it back on Friday. Yeah, it's just getting used to it now and try to get ready for the Northwest. It means the world to me, to be fair. I didn't think I could get back this far, and I did. So, yeah.
Tough road?
Yeah, tough road.
Don't go away, there's more motorcycle racing still to come.
We're going back in time now. It's the Junior Classic race at the Cookstown 100.
We're all set then for the Junior Classic race. This is 350 machinery. Predominantly Honda, there is a Ducati in there as well. Pole position goes to Nigel Moore. Alongside him, Barry Davidson, looking for what would be his 106th win. Incredible. Mark Johnson completes the front row. But the first wave, we have a full set of riders. However, no Gary Hutton on wave 2, bike number 20. He's a non-starter. Away they go. Nigel Moore, no. Barry Davidson, bike 40, gets the best start. Andy Hornby, not so good. In fact, he's losing places hand over fist. So they go down to Gordon. It looks like it's going to be Davidson. It is indeed Davidson who's going to be there first. Johnson just tucking in behind Nigel Moore. Back with Andy Hornby. He's got a little bit of work to do, however, 9 laps the race distance. Surely he's got plenty of time. No mistaking Barry Davidson first into McAdoo. Nigel Moore, followed by Johnson. 1982 was the last time we had a 350cc Grand Prix World Championship. Anton Mang, the last winner of that. But certainly plenty of 350s on display here in Cookstown. For Davidson, taking more with him. However, 46 is Mark Johnson. But Andy Hornby, after that poor start, is certainly making up for it now. And he fancies taking another position as he goes past Johnson. He does. But that's Nigel Moore and Barry Davidson ahead of him. But Davidson, Moore, and Hornby certainly on the hurry up now. 191, Kelly Carruthers will cross the line in 5th place. Kyle Parks just behind on bike number 6. But the familiar sight of Davidson and Moore at the head of the field. Meanwhile, Carruthers looks as if Johnson could be under threat. Is this Carruthers? They're side by side. But I think it will be Johnson who'll just get there ahead of Kelly Carruthers. Barry Davidson's lead. 1 second at the end of lap 1 over Nigel Moore. And then a further 3 seconds back to Andy Hornby in 3rd place. No one from the second wave threatening the top 6 at the moment. Here is 51. That's Andy Kildare bringing up the rear of the first wave. Again, they're still scrapping it out, Johnson and Carruthers, and this time Carruthers makes the move and makes it stick. Oh, disappointment. That's a retirement for Malcolm Love on the Bultaco 350. That's the second Bultaco to retire from this race. So both Bultacos have gone. We've still got the Ducatis out there, and the rest of the field is Honda. Hornby just tipping it in to Gorton. Still trying to reel in Nigel Moore. Barry Davidson, no stranger to winning, inducted into the Hall of Fame this year as well, and quite rightly so. Incredible achievement on these classic bikes. Already a race win for Barry Davidson, looking to make it 2, and could still get the hat-trick as well in the Junior Classic later today, in the Senior Classic, sorry, later today. What a great day to go racing. Well, that was Rod Graham being passed by Andy Hornby, being lapped. Well, Barry Davidson has certainly not put a foot wrong in this race. But Nigel Moore not too far behind still, but Barry Davidson can afford to look around to see where Nigel is. Oh dear, oh dear. And that's a retirement for Watty Brown. Barry Davidson. Not far to go. And Andy Hornby has tried and tried and tried, but just can't get close enough to Nigel Moore. He's certainly having a pop off a blue smoke, but to be expected from these two-stroke 350 machines. And here they come. Nigel Moore just ahead of Andy Hornby. It's certainly a fight for second place. But Davidson will make it 106 race wins. But who will take second place? It will be Nigel Moore, just from Andy Hornby. What an effort it was from Hornby. This is how they finish, with Kelly Carruthers getting the better of Mark Johnson. Hornby missing out on second to Nigel Moore. Barry Davidson, the race winner. We move on to the Open B race. The riders having done their warm-up lap, now getting ready to go racing. And it's another full grid as well. In pole position, it's McLaughlin, Richard McLaughlin on the Kawasaki. A good mix of machinery in this race. Paul Cranston, the evergreen Paul Cranston there on the Suzuki in 93. Then on to the second wave, we have a full grid apart from 91 is missing. There's also an MV Augusta in there as well. Oh, and a little front hop from 69. But he manages, Dara Trapp, to keep the front wheel planted, but he's lost a lot of ground from that. Into Gorton for the first time, it's going to be James Chalk. We're looking back from Kevin Keyes. Everyone thankfully around, no overshoots this time. And a change of lead as well. James Chalk drops back. So it is number 5 who leads. So Keyes is the race leader as things stand. Already Kevin Keyes on the Yamaha, threatening to pull away. James Chalk just behind. And you got the likes of Rich McLaughlin, Andy Farrell, Darrell Trapp as well. Paul Cranston, of course. So a good opening lap then for Kevin Keyes. James Chalk, these two threatening to pull away from the rest of them now. And I'm suggesting Keyes was, Chalk too. So it's Keyes, Chalk, McLaughlin, Farrell, Trapp, Cranston, Liam Chalk. Second of the Chalk boys. And then back with the second wave, Martin Morris. Just ahead is Donald McFadden and Josh Corner. They come out of this corner. Here they go, crossing the line now, and I think Corner's just been passed. He has. So Martin Morris goes past Josh Corner. However, none of these riders have made their way into the top 6 on corrected times. Oh, spectacular from Kevin Keyes on bike 5. Or maybe a little bit too spectacular. Did something go pop when he landed there? Perhaps because he's slowing right down. So the second lap, Kevin Keyes looks as if he's retirement. Keeps it tucked in. Yellow flags are out though, warning the riders. What a shame for Kevin Keyes. And I just wonder whether it was that landing that caused the damage. That means James Chalk now leads. McLaughlin in second place. Meanwhile, Martin Morris is in with the first wave riders, so he is absolutely flying around the Orator circuit at the moment. There he is, bike 32, and already up with Liam Chalk. And Morris goes third. Martin Morris is third. Wow. He was about 8th or 9th at the end of lap 1. 32, Martin Morris now up into third place, ahead of Farrell and Cranston. Well, here's the new race leader, of course, James Chalk. back with Martin Morris in amongst the traffic of the first wave. And he picks another one off. That time it was Andy Farrell. The James Chalk leads, but it's a good lead as well. Around 15 seconds over the man we're riding with, Martin Morris. Richard McLaughlin just ahead of him. McLaughlin second on the road, Morris third on the road. However, in real time, it's Morris that leads McLaughlin on the leaderboard. It looks as if it will be James Chalk race. However, Martin Morris wants to get past McLaughlin, and he's doing exactly that now on the race down to Gorton. Whether he can stop in time for this sharp right-hand turn remains to be seen. He's looking good, though. A lot of open road ahead now for Martin Morris. McLaughlin just needs to stay with Morris, I suppose, to guarantee third place. Paul Cranston still holding fourth. Here comes our race winner then, just this right and then the left to negotiate. And the checkered flag is ready and waiting to greet James Chalk in this Open B race. He takes the checkered flag. But Martin Morris coming through now. It will be second place for Martin Morris from the second wave of the grid. And it should be McLaughlin in third with Cranston in fourth. We'll have confirmation of that in a moment. Here they are, the results for the Open B. Paul Cranston ahead of Josh Corner, Richard McLaughlin, Martin Morris, but James Chalk the winner. Don't go away, there's more motorcycle racing still to come.
The Northern Irish countryside is about to reverberate to the sound of these machines. It's the Senior Classic race.
The bikes taking their position following the warm-up lap for this, the Senior Classic 2-in-1. We have 1000cc and 500cc classes. So Richard Ford holds pole position, Hornby alongside him and Farrell on the front row. Unfortunately, no Duffy at the end of the first wave. He's a non-starter. So too, non-starter number 75, that's Neil Lloyd. And 68 is also a non-starter as well. So we're down memory lane and on board with Kildare as he goes down the lane towards Gorton. Oh, he's certainly on the juice. Powering their way, but can they stop in time? And there is Barry Davidson. Will he make it a hat-trick of wins again at the Cookstown 100? He's looking for win number 107. Andy Hornby, a front row start for him on bike 42. Hornby leads from Ford. Kildare is also there in third place. Nigel Moore on bike 14. Andy Farrell on bike 20. Number 8 is Anthony McColgan. Oh, Barry Davidson being passed. You don't see that too often at Cookstown or any of the National Roads races. Across the line goes Andy Hornby. He leads from Richard Ford. Andy Kildare is second and third, sorry. Nigel Moore is fourth, Andy Farrell fifth, Kelly Carruthers in sixth, and Anthony McColgan in seventh. But we've got to wait for McCrum and Davidson, etc., to come through. Nigel Moore on bike 14, but he is in the 500cc class. He's on the Sealy 500. On Barry Davidson, it's not looking too good for him. Nowhere near the speeds we're used to seeing him, and looking down as well. So riding once again with Andy Kildare on the Honda 750. On Kildare, number 14 Moore. Farrell is 20. Carruthers is number 19. good lineup of machines again. We have Hornby is leading the thousands, even though he's on the Triumph 750. But they come under the category 1000cc because obviously they have a bigger cubic capacity than the 500s, and that's Nigel Moore on bike 14 on that CD G50. Here we're riding with Andy Kildare on the Honda 750 into Gorton. So they begin lap number 3. It's Hornby from Ford, Kildare, Moore, Carruthers, Farrell. But Moore is leading the 500s. Meanwhile, Hornby, Ford and Kildare are all on bigger machinery. Ford on the Honda and the Norton, sorry, the 920. Kildare is past, going into Mackney. That was Nigel Moore. He certainly knows his way around here. In fact, a lot of very familiar names in this Senior Classic race. The 20, Andy Farrell, just behind Andy Kildare. And Nigel Moore on that CD 500. Just making a little bit of a gap, is he, between him and Kildare? Certainly see that the 500 is nimble, certainly on the corners. And in front is still Andy Hornby, who's leading the 1000cc class on the Triumph 750. And Nigel Moore, third on the road. However, he's leading the 500 class. He's got some stiff opposition in there as well, with the likes of Andy Farrell and Barry Davidson, although Barry Davidson really is off song today. Well, certainly not today, but he's off song. Oh, as a rider goes through, and that was 20. That was Andy Farrell. So he's gone past Andy Kildare. However, they're in different classes. Overall, it is still Andy Hornby who leads on the Triumph 750, but it's a battle between Moore and Farrell in the 500s. Here they come. They keep an eye on 14 and 20. And Farrell up the inside of Moore. Can he turn in time? He can. So he's just ahead of Nigel Moore. Back with the race leader, Andy Hornby. Well, there's Nigel Moore, but where is Andy Farrell? Richard Ford just ahead of him on the road. No sign of Farrell. Oh, and Davidson's not going to make it either. The retirement for Barry Davidson. However, it's joy for Andy Hornby. He can afford to look round. He takes the checkered flag, and he takes the win in the Senior Classic. So in the 1000cc category, it's Hornby from Ford, and in the 500s, it's Moore from McColgan. Don't go away, there's more motorcycle racing still to come.
The final event of the day is the Cookstown 100. Many of the sport's best-known riders have won this prestigious race, including 5-time world champion Joey Dunlop and road racing legends Philip McCallan and Ryan Farquhar, who will add their name to the roll of honour today.
Dominic Herbertson could become only the second rider to win more than 3 races in a day if he can take victory in this one. Ryan Farquhar, the only rider to have won 4 or more. In fact, Farquhar once won 5 back in 2011. He won 4 in 2010 and 2012. Dominic Herbertson trying to join Ryan Farquhar in that exclusive club. This is how they'll line up. Unfortunately, no Michael Dunlop, of course. He is a non-starter. Michael Garn is also a non-starter. Otherwise, everyone else on the first wave is on the grid. On to the second wave, and no Damien Horan. And no Dean Lacey either. Everyone else is ready to do battle for the Cookstown 100. This is it, folks. Good to see Michael Sweeney on the grid following the problems he had on the final lap of the open race earlier in the day. Oh, it's all a little bit tight on the left-hand side of the road as they burst down. Neil Kernahan losing a couple of places by the looks of things as they go down to Goring for the very first time. But it is Herbertson from Sweeney into Gorton. Second wave away. Bike number 12, Keelan Ryan. And it is the BMWs. As I say, Sweeney with those issues with the BMW in the earlier Superbike race, but fingers crossed he's got that sorted this time. Certainly looks to be that way on this opening lap. He's right with Dominic Herbertson, the pole sitter. There they go. It is Kernahan, despite that start, has worked his way up into third place. Ryan Whitehall also there with him. Listening to Sweeney. Back on the power again. Everything seems sweet. Sweeney much closer this time than he was to Dominic Herbertson. But maybe whatever the issue is, they've sorted it and made the bike a little bit better. We shall see. What we did see in the Supersport race, of course, was that Herbertson was a demon on the brakes, but Sweeney, oh, a mistake from Herbertson, and Sweeney goes through. Just as I said, how good Herbertson's been on the brakes. Just overcooked it slightly, maybe left it a little bit too late. And Sweeney goes through, a little wiggle from Herbertson on the run down to McAdoo. Well, this is the moment. You see those white lines across the road they use as markers, and Herbertson just left it a fraction too late. And that allowed Sweeney to take advantage. Around Mackney they go. I mentioned for Keelan Ryan and Sam Johnson, 5th and 6th after the first lap. Sweeney looking the part so far, managing to keep Herbertson at bay. However, we'll see how things are when they start the next lap and they blast their way down to Gorton. Here they are, the two BMW Superbikes. And if ever you needed to explain Irish road racing, show them that. No mistake this time from either rider, but it is still Herbertson chasing Sweeney for the lead. Tenths of a second between them at the end of that previous lap. And it is all about these two. But Richard Charlton, meanwhile, is up in the 3rd place. He is ahead of Ryan Whitehall. Neil Kernahan's dropped back down to 5th. He was 3rd at the end of lap 1. It has to be pointed out, Michael Sweeney didn't manage a 124 in the previous races. He did it on lap 2. He's already in the 124s. So certainly that BMW is even better than it was in the earlier race, despite his problems in the final lap. However, he's got to keep it going over race distance. 12 laps. Sweeney, of course, won this race back in 2022. We didn't have one last year, of course, it was cancelled. We are very much going here in 2024. So they're about to start the next lap. 3 laps completed. Sweeney still top of the leaderboard from Dominic Herbertson. Or maybe not, as Herbertson gets on the juice and goes past Sweeney to take the lead. And he's through again. So Herbertson takes the lead. Or does he? No, he's back to 2nd. He's overcooked it once again. An even bigger mistake this time. But maybe just carried a little bit too much momentum in getting past Sweeney. And because of that, he had to brake as late as he could. And that may have just handed the Cookstown 100 to Michael Sweeney. Here they go again. And because he needed so much power to force his way past Sweeney, he had to brake really late, really hard, and just overshot slightly. Will Sweeney from Herbertson. It is cat and mouse, isn't it? I think Herbertson knows if he's going to do the same pass again, and certainly on the big 1000cc bikes, you'd have to say the best opportunity of making a pass is now, as they go down over the start-finish on the way to Gorton. Not like a little nimble two-stroke you could nip up the inside of someone at Mackney or McAdoo or whatever. So here he goes again. He's not close enough, but he might just do it on the brakes. There he has, perfect this time from Dominic Herbertson. He just left it a little bit later and did him on the brakes, whereas he went for power on the previous lap. Got him on the brakes this time. That's Ryan Whitehall ahead of Neil Kernahan. But of course, they're battling with Charlton and Ryan and Johnson, who are in the second wave. We have to wait to see what their times are when they cross the line. Richard Charlton still holding third place. So on corrected time, Elam Ryan is in fourth. Ryan Whitehall is fifth. There's a 600, a couple of 600s in this race. We just saw Darrell Tweed on 59 and Foley on the Yamaha 600 number 76. Well, can Michael Sweeney find a way past Dominic Herbertson? Both still in the 124s this time. It's a much faster pace than it was in the previous big bike race here at Cookstown earlier today. The sun has almost gone, a little bit more cloud earlier. It's a little bit cooler. Here is Whitehall. He's got Kernahan right behind him. We're back with Dominic Herbertson. So this time, now that Herbertson is ahead of Sweeney, Sweeney will try and do to Herbertson what Herbertson did to him on the previous lap. He's coming up into the chicane. Oh, he's got him sooner. Wow. Big move from Sweeney, and he'll turn it in time as well. However, we have to keep an eye on Dominic Herbertson. He's already, on the last couple of laps, made a move on Michael Sweeney. And again, he's just waiting, and then he's going to try and get him on the brakes. No, it's the brakes now. He's not going to do him. It will still be Sweeney who slides that rear into Gorton. Wow. Like two big prize fighters. Swapping punches. Here comes Whitehall and Kernahan. But it is Richard Charlton. Well, it certainly was Richard Charlton who's still holding third place in the second wave. Whitehall and Kernahan, fourth and fifth. Sweeney and Herbertson still in the 124s. And here they come again. Oh, this is Herbertson, is it? Maybe. It is. I was just about to say maybe not. He can turn in time, can he? He can, but will Sweeney dive up the inside? No, he has to hold him. Herbertson's got the line. But Herbertson with a great move, timed that to perfection. Just when it looked like he'd left it a little bit too late, swooped past. Absolutely incredible. And still this battle raging. Whitehall and Kernahan trying to force their way into the top three. A little twitch from Kernahan as they hit the brakes, juddering into Gorton. And again, we have to wait for Richard Charlton to arrive to see what's going on. I mentioned too, Keelan Ryan's also involved in that battle for third place as well. You just wonder whether Whitehall and Kernahan are actually helping each other get towards the top three or holding each other up. But this time it's Herbertson who will cross the line with his name at the top of the leaderboard. 2 more laps to go after this one. And the question is, can Michael Sweeney do anything about Dominic Herbertson? Will Dominic Herbertson win 4 races in a day at Cookstown 100, become only the second rider to do so, add his name to the list of Cookstown 100 winners, or will Michael Sweeney make it 2 wins in his career in this big race? And are either of these riders going to nudge towards the top 3 as well? Whitehall certainly has pulled away from Kernahan. We have to wait for Charlton and Ryan to come through, of course, to see where this man is. Oh, Kernahan's too hot, far too hot. You could see that in his desperation to close the gap on Ryan Whitehall. He has just overcooked it going into Gorton. They will see the last lap flag in a moment. Ryan Whitehall up into 3rd place now. Richard Charlton back in 4th. Keelan Ryan 5th. Neil Kernahan in 6th place. I think Kernahan may be a retirement. Well, Dominic Herbertson has got a lead just around a second over Michael Sweeney. Just inside a second is the gap between them going into this final lap. It's now or never for Michael Sweeney. He's just really got to get as close as he can to Dominic Herbertson and try and get him out of the last corner, or perhaps get him going into the last corner as he did earlier in the race. Who is going to win the Cookstown 100? Is it going to be this man, Michael Sweeney, the winner back in 2022? Will it be the race leader, Dominic Herbertson, on bike number 11? Never won this race before. Poised to make his name in the history books alongside Ryan Farquhar in having won more than 3 races in a day at the Cookstown 100. This is it. Is he close enough, Sweeney? He isn't. Herbertson giving him no room. Sweeney's got to really get on the power now as they come down for the final time, and I don't think he's going to be close enough. It's going to be a win for Dominic Herbertson. It is indeed Dominic Herbertson here at the Cookstown 100. He takes the win. What a race that was. The lead swapping hands several times. But Dominic Herbertson is the man at Cookstown in 2024. So this is how it finishes in the Cookstown 100 race. Ryan Whitehall in 3rd ahead of Keelan Ryan. Michael Sweeney 2nd, with Dominic Herbertson the winner.
That was a race. Yeah, Chris has come early, but you know what? Races like that with Sweeney, it does not matter about who won that. That was just proper tight racing. He was making mistakes, I was making mistakes, and you just think you don't get any better than that. I'm not joking. You could have put me in 10th place, and I'd feel like this.
I knew after the first lap I was able to go with them, and then just back and forward, and I did try hard. I lapped quicker than I ever lapped around here as well, so that's a bonus as well. So yeah, it's nice to be back lapping them speeds and back on the podium.
Might as well share this. Honestly, you know what I mean?
It is, of course, the opening round of the King of the Roads Championship. And no surprise to see that it's Dominic Herbertson who's setting the pace at the top of the points leaderboard. That's it from Cookstown. The focus now switches to the Northwest 200, which takes place in a couple of weeks' time. Goodbye for now.
Open your eyes and see the fight I had.
Might as well share this.